You ever get that feeling that there's more to your story than you've been told? That there's this massive power just locked away inside you? Well, it turns out that's a timeless tale. It's a journey that echoes through pretty much all of our myths and even into modern psychology. This path from a hidden, maybe even fake reality to discovering who you truly are. So, let's dive into this archetype of awakening. And I want to start with this question right here. I mean, really think about it. What if everything you knew, your world, the people in it, was all just a carefully constructed stage, a play designed specifically to keep you from realizing your own power? It's a huge thought, and it's the very foundation of the hero's journey we're about to explore. Every journey of awakening has to start somewhere, and usually it begins in a state of, well, sleep. We start in what we can call the world of shadows, a place where you don't know what you don't know, where the spells of normality have been cast, and reality itself might just be an elaborate illusion. So, thousands of years ago, the philosopher Plato came up with this incredible thought experiment. Just picture it. People chained up in a cave their entire lives, forced to face a blank wall. Behind them, there's a fire, and things pass in front of it, casting shadows on the wall. For these prisoners, those flickering shadows, that's not just a show. That's reality. That's the absolute truth. And this really captures that feeling, doesn't it? It's kind of blurry, not quite clear, but for the people in that cave, it's everything. When the shadows on the wall are literally all you have ever known, why would you ever think anything else exists? That manufactured world becomes your entire universe. And believe it or not, this ancient idea has a surprisingly modern twin. It's called the Truman Show delusion, a documented psychological state where people genuinely believe their life is a reality show. Now imagine a boy with powers so immense they scared everyone, so he was raised in a world just like this. His memory was cut off, his truth hidden away, and everyone around him was just playing a role to keep him believing he was normal. Okay, so you're in the cave, everyone's playing their part. But what happens when something glitches? This next part, it's all about that catalyst, that first tiny glimmer of truth that whispers that maybe, just maybe, the shadows on the wall aren't the whole story. And that's the multi-million-dollar question, isn't it? How does a prisoner even start to question the chains they've worn their entire life? How does our hero get that first call to adventure? Well, it usually starts with something small. It's that deep-down feeling that something is just off, that you know you're not like everyone else, that there's a greatness inside you. It might be a memory that just doesn't add up, or a flash of this divine connection that breaks all the rules of the world you thought you knew. It's that first loose thread you just can't stop yourself from pulling. Now, if we look at this from a psychological angle, that comfortable, normal world is what the psychologist Carl Jung called the ego. Think of it as the center of your consciousness, your sense of I. So, to answer that call to adventure, the hero has to be willing to step outside of that comfort zone, to leave the known world and take a leap into the complete unknown. But leaving the ego? Man, that's just the first step. The real test, the most dangerous part of this whole expedition, is the journey inward. It's time to face the dragons that are hiding deep inside our own minds. And Jung just hits the nail on the head with this. See, real transformation isn't about dodging problems. It's about walking right into them. For our hero, maybe it's the destruction and chaos all around him that finally forces him to learn, to overcome, and in the end, to rise up. The first dragon you meet on this inner journey is the shadow self. Now, this isn't some monster you have to slay. According to Jung, the shadow is made of all the parts of ourselves that we've pushed down or pretended aren't there. Our fears, our insecurities, our darker impulses. And here's the key. The goal isn't to kill this dragon, but to understand it and bring it into the light. So we can kind of map out this internal quest, right? It all starts with leaving the comfort of the ego. Then comes that tough but essential meeting with the shadow. From there, the hero goes even deeper, into the unconscious mind, that vast unknown territory, to finally pull all these pieces together and become whole. And this whole journey inward, it all leads to this. The climax, the entire purpose of the quest. We're talking about the moment of profound awakening, where the hidden self and the conscious self finally shake hands. The psychological term for this moment is individuation. It's the process of becoming an individual, as in no longer divided. It's the ultimate goal of this inner journey, this beautiful, harmonious integration of every single aspect of your personality. It's you, finally becoming who you were always meant to be. This is the payoff. This is the moment the prisoner finally sees the sun. For our hero, this is when the spells just break. He awakens. He's no longer a pawn in a game he didn't understand. Now he's like a walking storm, totally controlled by a deep knowing of the world and his place in it. A total transformation. But hold on, the story doesn't end there. It's never that easy. After the awakening, after seeing the sun, the hero has to complete the circle. They have to go back to the world they left behind. And honestly, this is often the hardest part of all. I mean, really think about it. You've seen the truth. You've faced your own shadow. You've unlocked your true potential. And now you have to go back to the cave, where everyone else is still just staring at the wall. The very people who might have been the ones keeping you chained up. What on earth do you do? Well, Plato's allegory gives us a pretty powerful warning here. When the freed prisoner goes back, their eyes are used to the bright sun, so they can't really see in the dark cave anymore. To the other prisoners, they just look clumsy and foolish. They start talking about a world the others can't even imagine, and so they're met with ridicule, with distrust, and sometimes even with violence. And this perfectly illustrates the razor's edge the returning hero has to walk. On one side, you've got the Christ figure archetype, someone who comes back with compassion to try and heal and guide others. But on the other side, there's the huge pitfall of the Messiah complex, this delusion of grandeur, believing you're destined to save everyone, which is a really dangerous and lonely path. And this quote, this gets to the absolute heart of the true hero's return. After everything, after realizing the whole world was a lie, the awakened hero might not feel anger. Instead, they feel this profound sense of compassion. He knew that the people who lied to him weren't really evil. They were just unhappy. He could see that what they did came from their own fear, their own shadows. And he realized that if they were truly happy, they wouldn't need to hurt or control anyone. The goal isn't to punish them, it's to heal. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this final thought. The hero's journey is this incredibly powerful pattern we see everywhere, in ancient myths, modern movies, psychological theories, spiritual texts. But is it just a story we tell ourselves? Or is it a kind of map for a transformation that's just waiting to unfold inside of each and every one of us?